Greetings, everyone! Overwatchers, Overwatchettes, you know the spiel if you've heard me before. My name is GlxtchR, joined with me is AK, and welcome back to Overwatch Seasons. We are in Season 5, and today we've got two teams going up against each other. We got GGG going up against GJ Toads. That was not easy to say. AK, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty great, yeah. Enjoying a lovely Tuesday. How are you?
Oh, you know, I've been here. I'm hanging out, enjoying my life. You know, just got home. We're here off from one job and into the next. We got these two teams competing here. We're gonna see who is gonna come out on top. We, of course, are gonna remind everyone at home this is a best of 3. So first of 2 maps will go ahead and be crowned the winner of the match, and we're gonna be playing only modes which you cannot tie in. So we're playing Flashpoint, then we're gonna move into Push, and then Control if need be. But both teams are ready. We're gonna go ahead and head into the match. Loading into here, Sir Voss has been the map pick opted for here. As for compositional styles, I mean, there have been some balance changes that have come through here and there. Is there anything in specific you're looking towards necessarily to be run?
You know, I would not be surprised. A queen comp is always good on the Flashpoint maps. Otherwise, I'd be interested to see sort of what they pull out. I could definitely see some dive here potentially, or even some ram brawl. And that's probably what we're going to see today.
Wouldn't be too surprised when you consider everything in a mix here for the standard division being, you know, dive is I'd say a little bit less likely just because I've said this every time I've casted any game for this organization. Dive is not something that we play in North America. You may see it in your ranked games here and there, but in terms of coordinated play, it's just never been our bread and butter. That we leave that to the people over in the APAC region. But I would not be surprised to see these newer style brawls here. If Junk Cream versus Ramos being hovered right now. No Lucio on the side of GJ Toads. We're gonna see how that one flies out as we go ahead and let down the doors, and the teams will go ahead and roll out here.
Oh, last minute swaps of Sojourn, that'll be interesting. We'll definitely see the queen take point first, and then they should be able to sort of hold that point control.
Should be able to hold the point control in general, as long as they're able to grab the picks, right? Because the Jungle Queen offers less mitigation, but more damage. So it's all about, can you get those bursty plays out? The Carnage Swing is going to go ahead and come through. Won't really connect on anything significant, but the Suzu use here will be quite large. It's a large cooldown to go ahead and expend first. The Soldier's going to go ahead and send the Helix Rocks out, but it's not really going to find too much, and there's going to be the commanding shout pop alongside the Annihilation, and Magma's going to go ahead and grab the dash kill on a Skrulunky, and Blackman's going to grab Ghost as well, and that's going to be 2 picks here available for GGG. We'll most likely wrap up the fight here without a flex support and a hitscan TP. It's going to be a little bit rough. Ram will eventually go ahead and fall, with Winter Storm being the last one of the bunch. That will be a point cap here for GGG.
Yep. They were able to really get that pick off first with that Genji, and then just sort of follow through with the Queen and really show what Queen comps can do, is walk in and clean up.
Yeah, and once again, they're really capitalizing, once again, like I said earlier, on that burst potential. You're going to be able to... their comp enables a fast style, even... especially with the Lucio, and that's not something that the Ram comp can defend against, so they don't have that tool available in the toolkit, opting for more raw numerical output rather than, you know, unforeseen utility that the numbers don't necessarily show. As the Omnic form will go ahead and be discarded here for the Nemesis form instead. Punches being thrown out here, but there's a Suzu. It's going to be actually sent out here, but it's not going to grab much here. This will only cleanse 1, but the cleanse is not going to matter here as the collapse is swift. And even though the window is invested here from Stubby Crane, it's not going to find really any value at all in such a awkward position on the low ground, meaning that no one can really find full use out of it. And that would be GGG taking the first point here. They're going to stagger out this legs.
That was pretty impressive. 2 fights on that first point, and they were able to totally hold it with just the use of 1 ult. And coming up, we're probably going to see something like a Beat Blade or potentially a Rush Overclock. And we also have a couple coming up on the GJ River Toads too, so that could be interesting.
Yeah, definitely could be something that could come into play. Kit Blade also very popular on this map just because of the amount of straight and narrow areas. The Rush is going to go ahead and be invested. We are going to see Kit Blade here, but the Blade is not actually being used within the Rush. But Magnus will go ahead and quickly dash back in, but Blackman will go ahead and use Rush full effect and run down the opposition. This will be a extended team kill most likely, unless the Batista is going to be able to get out, which he will. He will preserve his life and therefore preserve the respawn timer along with it. But GGG swiftly overcoming that fight with 2 ultimates thrown at it.
You know, you're seeing GJ River Toads holding on to 4 ults there, so this could be definitely a tough fight for GGG. They have the beat though, and they have the overclock, so potentially they could play it carefully and hold.
I mean, yeah, they could, but look at this proactivity there from GGG, really wanting to get in their face, and that's going to be an early lamp out here. Overclock doesn't really find any picks, and actually will be falling here. Late Suzu here from the Kiriko, and that's not really going to find much, but as soon as the Annihilation comes out, the beat comes out in response, and it's all Blackman all over the kill feed. I mean, right now, even though Order is kind of just existing, no real damage being made off that tick, and Blackman with a ace for himself as far as I'm aware, and that's gonna essentially lock up the second point as well without a Lucio to get back.
And we traded that beat for the Ram ult, and they're still holding on to Queen ult, and we're still seeing GJ River Toads holding on to everything else, but it doesn't look like they're gonna be even able to touch.
No, they opt against touching. They go for the gamble. Did they guess correctly on the side of the map? And it appears that they have. They've gambled and they've won. Rare thing in this game.
Indeed. See.
But rotation is going to go ahead and come through. Once again, Lucio is going to enable that faster retake of space here. And even though the point control is... positioning wise is with the side of GJ Toad. Ultimately, I mean, ooh, that's not good. Ghost's gonna go ahead and get nailed off here, but the Rush is gonna come down to counteract to try and find something to deflect here, and the Blizzard is gonna go and get thrown down, but it's gonna be all for naught. I mean, so many ults thrown in there. That's gonna be 2 ults. Nearly, probably would have been 3 if Batista survived, but a quick rampage to go ahead and deal with the rest of it, and that was quick. GGG are making this look very easy.
They are. And GJ River Toads is just not having a follow-up, even with the ults, and GGG is just swift to take them down.
It's definitely something that they're going to have to try and maybe reset for. I mean, they do have the ability to come back into this, but with 2 huge tools lost in that, you know, in a very one-sided exchange earlier, is not going to be much here. But the window visors is going to be something there. But they go ahead and push ahead, but the rush is going to go ahead and make it a little bit more averse for the side of the River Toads. Going to want to try and find something, but the lamp is going to be deployed here, which means that will be the signal for the bladed Magnus. He extends himself into the kill feed, extends himself into the enemy backline, and with the help of his other DPS and Oxalis, excuse me, on the Lucio, it is a domineering presence on the point, and with only a few mere seconds left, I fear that there will be no time left to touch.
It looks like the Sombra's gonna try, but not quite.
Yeah, it's not gonna go ahead and come to fruition, and GGG takes map 1 on Suravasa in, dare I say, uncontested fashion.
I would agree, you know, I'm not sure they quite won any of the fights there. Even when they traded ults, it just did not come to fruition for them.
No, and you have to wonder maybe the type of gameplay adjustments they're gonna need to make. We're gonna go ahead and head into a quick break. When we come back, map 2 on the way. After a domineering showcase on Suravasa, GJ River Toads have opted to send us to Esperanza, where they hope to regain their footing after a brutal map 1 loss.
Yes, it was definitely a quick finish for them, and GGG was very dominant there.
Yeah, but I believe map is ready to go, and I believe teams were just gonna go ahead and get confirmation. But Esperanza, we can go ahead and kind of talk about how it's gonna play out here. Esperanza, probably the most beloved of all the push maps. There's only 3 of them in the game, so not a hard contest to win, realistically, especially when one of them is not real. Thank you, Coliseo. Ultimately, though, I mean, we've seen the gauntlet here. We've seen Junker Queen, we've seen Ram, we've seen Monkey, we've seen Ryan, we've seen Hog. I mean, what do you anticipate? Do you think we just go back to the brawl?
I think we're gonna see a pretty similar comp. Definitely the maze here is definitely a good pick, solid pick here, and I could definitely see that on both teams happening. I would love to see the dive personally, because it's just on this map is one of my favorites, but I think we will likely see a similar Queen or Ram comp from both teams.
Yeah, I definitely would agree. Maybe some Reinhardt could come to play, wouldn't be too opposed. The angles are actually play very favorable for his fire strikes, and his shield can cover a lot of ground with it. I mean, once again, I've seen literally, I think this is the map I've seen the most controversy on, so it's really hard to kind of give a litmus test without knowing what the teams are going to pick. But regardless, comps will be revealed to us here within the next few seconds. And as the music ascends in the ears, it seems like Ram Brawl will be the mirror, but once again, the side of GJ Toads not favoring Lucio on hover.
Yeah, I think that's definitely interesting. You don't get the defensive ult there, you'll get the cleanse, which is nice, but I still think like the speed, especially in the Ram v Ram with the Mei wall, it can be very vital in making a huge difference in the way each team plays.
I just think in the brawl, it's all about pacing, right? You know, you're playing Ramattra, the famed tempo tank, as was, you know, debuted by our lovely sponsors, Activision Blizzard. But ultimately, right, if you don't have that speed, it's going to make it hard for you to converge alongside your team. You kind of leave them behind with that, you know, that Nemesis form speed boost. So we're going to see how it plays out. Once again, utility negated here for the side of GJ River Toads in favor of more just general healing and general numbers. Both walls will go ahead and get erected here as Sojourn instead of Soldier, as well as another compositional difference here. Other than that, we're seeing similar things. So similar ideas, but different nuances, you could say, as right now, just utility being exchanged here. Shields and walls going to go ahead and be slammed down. Ice Block already used by Winter Storm, so that is going to be a cooldown that will be called out here in order. Has to be careful. Is going to go ahead and throw up the arms. Magnus as well getting very weak alongside both DPS for the side of GJ River Toads, and currently nothing is dying.
No, this has been a very prolonged fight.
Has been very prolonged a la GOATS era in a weird way, but they're finally an overextension. Order goes for the kill on Odonata, excuse me, and he had the lamp ready, so he did not fall, and just like that, and just like in our fellow old frenemy GOATS, the rest of the team crumples with his absence.
Yeah, what you saw there was that while Good Job GJ River Toads did have the sustain and they were able to keep up, but that wall really sort of ended up losing them in the fight with Order getting taken out early.
Yeah, Order losing his life there. Once again, he's trying to go for a play. He recognizes this fight is going way too long, and I think wants to try and make a play for his team. But you have to be careful, because if it goes incorrectly, all of a sudden you open the door up. And in this case, Odonata wants to open the window up here, send through some high-powered damage here. The wall's gonna go ahead and get thrown up here to try to prevent some damage, and oh wow, okay, a lot of ultimates being spammed here, but ultimately Blackman is gonna use the Annihilation to try and sustain himself just a little bit longer, and he pays the price. That is a large ultimate down for the count, and Magnus and Doc have to run.
Yeah, that ghost pick on the Baptiste Odonata was really a huge win for them. So to push them. And they're coming up on some ults, they're kind of matching each team. We'll see if we can, maybe we'll be able to save a cleanse for the Mei ults, or otherwise it could be a really big play against them.
Speaking of a really big play, somebody created all the Baptistas onto the Ana. Recognize that there's no Suzu available, so they want to try and capitalize on those nades, but he just gets absolutely run over. No Lucio for Peel means that they are all left alone, and the fragmentation of the GJ River Toads begins. They eventually manage to coalesce into some sort of form here, but with the legs separated, he has to run and recuperate. The bot will go ahead and once again proceed forward in GGG's favorable direction here, with only about 1.5 meters away from that checkpoint. Annihilation is going to get popped here, but the B and the Overclock in response to try and burn him out of that form. It looks like it will not happen here. Nana was ready, and it will go ahead and be reinvested into the Ramatra alongside the Blizzard, but a counter Blizzard is dropped instead, and it's going to grab a freeze here. Multi-freeze, actually, but the Suzu is going to be there to free them from the Icy Chamber. Madness is in a little bit of a rough spot here, and he will go ahead and use the Ice Block to preserve his life, but due to being so caught out, it could be potentially his swan song there, as the bot will go ahead and proceed forward into the opposite direction in favor of GJ Chose after a very long and very ult-heavy fight.
That's for sure. We're still seeing very split teams from both of them, so this could really go very either way.
I mean, yeah, Magnus just died, but Ghost is quickly traded out, though. This is something. Nate is not connected here, and Skrunkly pays the price for trying to grab a headshot with the kunai. Winterstorm as well, very, very weak. Has to be mindful. Blattman, Nemesis form runs him down. Omni form returns, and finally, it looks like this first checkpoint will be sieged.
That was quite a disorienting fight. There were a lot of scattered, a lot of stragglers sort of split off, and somehow GGG was able to take it. It's window.
Yeah, somehow, but ooh, a lovely job from Stubby there, making sure to grab. But that's even worse, right as Visor's queuing up. Doc's tough and Mage is gonna make sure to grab Ghost. Mid-visor summon, that's very, very bad, but there's the Suzu, and there's gonna be the Annihilation pop. The nade is out there, though, to make it where he cannot get any healing, and the shield is lovely there from Order 16, making sure that he cannot receive any more healing from the side, and right now it would just be Magnus, ice blocking around. He would kind of be staggering himself out here, which is fine, I guess, but finally, this bot will maybe start to surge forward for the side of GJ River Toads.
Yeah, I would like to see them take initiative with some of these ults. They're coming up on a lot.
I mean, yeah, I would like to see him take initiative as well, but I mean, when Doc is hitting headshots like that, do you really get the opportunity? It is a reset. Yeah, I mean, it's a reset, but also, I mean, like, look at it this way. I mean, Ghost has been first death now 3 times this map alone. Positioning has to be better, but there's the overclock as well, and Stubby, oh dear. A first death for him right as Ghost rejoins the fray. That is unlucky, even though they have a secondary flex support available to dish out healing and a Suzu. Ultimately, they are just warding off slowly but surely. Lovely job there by Blattman as well, cleaning up what the Sojourn couldn't, and the Blizzard is invested here. Questionable at best, maybe just to get away, but it didn't even matter because he died. I have to question that use. No. I mean, you'd hope so, but he is still hovering that same character. Maybe a fat family. That's just truly sad to see.
GGG is really doing a really good job of like both utilizing their ults and holding high ground.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of utilization of ults here, we're going to see counter for counter for counter here as 3 ults are poured in from the side of GJ River Toads, whereas 2 were invested from the side of GGG, and ultimately, 3 is bigger than 2, so they will win the fight here. Fun fact, I'm good at math, everyone.
GJ River Toads no longer has any ults, and they're not. The closest is Soldier, Ghosts, but it's still a little ways off, and with the way that GGG's been using ults, likely a window in a Rammel is really gonna just win them the fight and hold on to their lead.
Yeah, definitely, but also not even just, oh, that is a big Bionade. They have to be careful. Somehow they don't lose a single soul. I don't know how that happened. Stubby hit the Bionade of a century that only kings can dream of, and alas, no kill conversion off the back of it. That's heartbreaking.
That really almost hurt to see. And they didn't even have to use ults for GGG's side.
No,
they just
it was
walked
dry.
on.
That was dry, which is unbelievable. But what I was trying to say before that absolutely juicy nade kind of cut me off was, I mean, Ghost, even if he's coming up on this visor, I mean, last 2 times he's used it, he's been interrupted. So will he even find any value? I'm not 100% sure, and the percentage play is being played right here. Forfeiting control of the bot, just making sure they have that primary checkpoint, and then leaving to take a skirmish on the other side of the map.
They're really holding on to the high ground here, and that's really all they need to do.
Yeah, because push is like one of those weird game modes that, rewards you for not playing the objective. Which, in my opinion, is a little silly, but once again, that's a conversation for a different time. And, oh, you're going to see this wall here. Lovely job from Magus, but luckily he will go ahead and get teleported on. Lovely little Suzu there, and the visor will go ahead and come out here for Ghost. But Blattman will grab Winterstorm first before any blood is drawn. And Ghost will lose his life as well before even a single lick of his name enters the kill feed on the beneficiary side. And Blattman is all over the field. A window poured in here from Odonata. And this barrier will continue to surge forward. They will get to 100 meters here.
Question.
a swap here. You see from Ghost off the legs, wants to play something a little bit more mobile. Opts with the Tracer here. Recall already used though and has to use all the blinks to get out. He will get out barely. Only 30 seconds left. This has to be a miraculous comeback from GJ River Toads if they want to try anything.
Last fight territory for them. They need a W here.
Oh, I mean, yeah, oh, lovely little job there. Great isolation, though. Blackman getting punished for getting so aggressive. Lovely counter rush as well, but Doc, with the overclock, will go ahead and grab him a pick onto Winterstorm. That's the May out of the equation. OWSeasons will go ahead and drop the beat there to save the rest of his team, which very, very well done. And the Suzu will go ahead and be invested, but the Nano into the Annihilation. This should close out this individual fight. And even though it will buy time, that overtime whip will burn faster and faster.
And only using Nano and Remote there is pretty big for GJ River Toads with only a meta match. Both Mailts coming out potentially here. Let's see if the cleanse will save them or not.
Potentially. Right now, Cleanse not active there, and Blackman gotta be careful. He's gotta get beamed down right here, and the spawns will reset, so be neutral spawns from both sides here, but no final blow has been found yet. And there's a counter Blizzard there. Lovely little job. Fantastic there from Magnus to try and isolate the targets, but the bot's a little bit ahead of it, so they are able to play on the opposite side, but not before they walk into the window and get eviscerated, courtesy of one very angry Batiste. Order will drop down the Ravenous Vortex to try and find something, but in the end, it's a 2vx situation. Strongly does grab one with a kunai headshot, but ultimately, it is GGG who run the kill feed, who ran the game, who ran the series 2-0, domineering fashion. GGG wins.
Congrats. GGG. A GG to them.
A GG to GGG.
It's a lot of GGs.
Yes, it's 5 actually. We're doing math today, everyone. No, but I mean, this is a great play from Order, though. It's a shame that, you know, I mean, there were a lot of good like ideas that were brought to the table here by River Toads, but I just don't think they were able to fully actualize a lot of them. And so, you know, once again, maybe they get in the lab, maybe they get some work on those. They definitely can improve. But as for GGG, player of the match, what are we saying?
Ooh, oh, that's hard. That's very hard. You know, I think there were a lot of really good windows from, but also a lot of really good ramults from Blackman. I'm kind of leaning towards Blackman, perhaps.
Yeah, you know, I'll give it to you. I am not opposed. We'll go ahead and move him over to the channel if I can find it. I love it here. Go
All
ahead
the channels.
and yes, indeed there are. But go ahead.
Hello.
Mr. Blackman, you have been nominated as player of the match. Congratulations. How's it feel?
It feels good. Wow. I didn't even know this was happening. I'm not gonna lie. I was about to give you food.
Well, I won't keep you for a meal too long. I just have a couple questions for you. One,
yeah.
that was a domineering performance. That was fantastic. Like top down, that was, you know, I'm not gonna showcase it here, but that was not close. Like, does that kind of bolster your confidence heading into future series?
No. Anybody knows me, confidence is not my number one thing. But I mean, we feel good. We had a good time. We had a ringer in too for this map, and so I think it'll be really interesting to see what it will look like when we get to full strength.
Wow, that's crazy. All that with a ringer. Is this a ringer that you guys are used to playing with? Maybe like a sixth man, or is this someone that was just like, you know, brought in last second?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of just got home, warmed up, and showed up, and he was there. But he was a great guy to play with. He popped off, and he really helped with the comm structure. But you know, I had fun.
You know, I love that honesty, Blackman, and I will not keep you from your game your game winning meal any longer. Take care. Have a lovely night.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, everyone. That was gonna be our first series for the night, but stay in your chair, ladies and gentlemen, because check it out at 8:30 EST. We've got another gigabanger coming up. We got Morgan State University Esports taking on Celestial Frenzy with CTH and Sarah. So make sure you guys stay tuned, and we will see you guys in a bit. Take care.
Bye.